Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mormon Atheist. Okay, tonight, apostates, we are going to get really nerdy on you with a Masonic nerd. Okay, all you nerdy Masons, let's go. Okay, so like and subscribe to the channel. We will never be monetized. You know the routine. So, Apostate Congregation. I'm going to reintroduce the world tonight to a one of my personal heroes. Okay, he's one of them. His name is David Brainerd. I'm sorry, scratch that. David Bernard. Okay, there's a whole backstory as to why I call him Brainerd. All right, but that's not important for tonight. Okay, you can look up David Brainerd, Elder David Brainerd. It's a completely different person. And look at his theology, okay, and compare notes. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. So we're talking about David Bernard today, okay, and his book is called Light on Masonry. All right, this book is going to be the basis of our episode tonight. All right, okay, but we're going to get into a lot of stuff. So buckle up, all right, because I have a long one for you. This is going to be a long one. I want to take you on a trip. Okay, we're going to go on a journey way back in time. Let's jump in the time capsule, apostates. Let's turn on to some David Brainerd. All right, David Bernard. I'm sorry. It's natural habit for me. I'm sorry. Uh, if I should misspeak and call him Brainerd in the future in this episode, please side note that I'm referring to Bernard, not Brainerd. All right. Okay, anyways, let's jump in the time capsule. Let's tune in. Let's turn on, baby, and let's drop out of society for a while, and let's go back in time and jump in the time capsule. Today is November 9th, 2025. Tonight we are going to be talking about something that's going to surprise you. You're going to be surprised about this. I am going to put my money where my mouth is tonight. Okay, I talk about all the time I talk about this, but I've never done an episode on it. So here we go. Let's go. The connection between early Masonry and the early Mormon movement. All right. Uh, we're going to kind of close this story. Okay, I'm going to show you stuff that's going to blow your mind away. And I want to be very clear. This is not about modern Masonry. Okay, we are not talking about modern day Masonry. This is Masonry of the 1820s and earlier. All right, so our time context is very, very important to stay in here. Okay, and this is not about belief or disbelief in any religion. I'm showing you the comparisons. Okay, and you can do with it what you will. All right. Um, so here we go. This is about the way early observers in the 1820s and 30s and 40s perceived organized institutions. Okay, my hero, one of them, one of the earliest and most influential critics of Masonry. Okay, we're going back in the day in early America. Okay, 1829, we're reintroducing the world to David Bernard, the one and only, guys. I mean, if we were like in an auditorium, I'd say, let's give it up. All right, so David Bernard, in 1829, he publishes Light on Masonry. Okay, now apostates, I want to show you something. Okay, in my previous videos, I have kind of gone off on other scholars and people that I have talked to in the ex-Mormon world about, and they hold up the book and all this stuff, and they tell you they read the book, all right? And then one way that you can know that they have not read the book, when you directly ask somebody, what is that book about? And they tell you William Morgan first off, okay? And then when you reply, when I replied, da 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 da, it's speculative masonry, and my response, their response to me was blown up, right? Show me the page number, you're in, you know, all this stuff, right? Apostates, it says it right there on the freaking cover. Okay? Let me read it to you. A collection of all the most important documents on the subject of speculative Freemasonry. It says it right there on the freaking cover. Okay? So you didn't, not only did you not read the book, you didn't even read the cover of the book. Okay? So let's continue, right? Okay. The name, okay, what his book is, Light on Masonry, it's a collection of all the most important documents on the subject of speculative Freemasonry, okay? Now, let's get into it, apostates. Stay with me on this because we're going to get nerdy. Stay with me, okay? Bernard writes in his book on page 32, this is his entire central argument to his book, okay? He writes, Masonry, in its present speculative form, this is 1829, okay? We're not talking about modern day Masonry. Get that out of your brain, okay? Exit that. We're in a time capsule. We're going back to 1829, congregation, okay? Masonry, in its present speculative form, is a religious institution, cloth with ceremonies and obligations which perform to govern, or which profess to govern the conscience and bind the moral duties of men under the guise of secrecy. Okay, now apostates, I want you to put your mind into Mormon mode, okay? We're talking about Freemasonry, but go into Mormon mode. Stay in Mormon mode, okay? Now, when I talk about this, I 100% want you to think of Mormonism. What I just read right there, think of blood oaths, okay? Blood oaths, right? Masonry, in its present speculative form, is a religious institution clothed in ceremonies and obligations, which profess to govern the conscience and bind the moral duties of man under the guise of secrecy. Okay, notice Bernard is drawing a clear distinction here. Okay, now there is an F ton of context you have to know in this book. If you do not read the preface of this book, congregation, you miss the entire point of the book. Okay, forget it. Don't even read the book. Don't even waste your time in reading the book if you do not read the preface of this book. Okay. Okay. I want to be very stern about that. Very, very stern, because the entire intent of why he's writing this book is in the preface. And if you read the book without reading that, the book, no kidding, takes on a totally different meaning. It's a completely different meaning if you don't understand why he's writing that book. Okay. Okay. So, apostates, I want you to understand through Bernard's book, he is very clearly talking about operative masonry and speculative masonry. Okay. The distinction that he makes, and Solomon Southwick and Thurlow Weed and just countless other authors, they're talking about how operative masonry is the masonry of old. Okay, think Templars. It's Freemasonry is dead. These guys are literally telling you operative masonry is dead. Okay. This new Masonry, called speculative Masonry, is a religious institution. That's what these books are about. And it's a warning. They're warning you about this. Okay. It's literally a warning. All right. Okay. So speculative Masonry is the Masonry of new. Okay. Think Mormonism. Mormonism is all about speculative Masonry. Okay. And I'm going to prove it to you. Okay. Apostates, enter William Morgan. William Morgan is going to be a very, very short, okay? I'm going to say literally like 2 sentences about the guy throughout this whole thing, and that's it. William Morgan is the bridge. He's bridging the gap. He is he's a character. He's representing the old from the new, operative to speculative, okay? He's bridging that gap. William Morgan represents the old Masonry. And now he's in all of the anti-Mormon books. He's in all of them. There's some mention, something, there's some reference. Lucinda Pendleton, William Morgan's wife, becomes Joseph Smith's polygamist wife. William Morgan's trial, all of the characters that are at William Morgan's trial, and all of those names are in this book. Lodom Lawson, Daniel Wells, Newell K. Whitney, all of these names are in this book. And this is an anti-Masonic book, not an anti-Mormon book. So why are Mormon names in this book, congregation? Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so let's keep going. All right, we have a lot to get to, so let's keep going. Building the craft of old is gone, right? The builders of the craft of old, the stone cutters, the stone masons, right? The old craft, right? It's literally called the old craft. What is the old craft, Apostate Congregation? Solomonic magic, the magic of Solomon, right? King Solomon, right? This is Templar stuff, right? You got to go back to this. Today's world, we call this Solomonic magic, right? Okay, so what remains is speculative Masonry. Operative is dead. Masonry of old is dead, okay? We're not talking about modern Masonry. We are talking about 1829 Masonry. Keep perspective here. Context, right? Okay, a system of moral and spiritual authority wrapped in secrecy. This is speculative Masonry, right? A system of moral and spirit, and this is what Brainerd and Southwick and Weed, all these people are talking about this, right? So the power of speculation, right, in Masonry, once again, we go back to Brainerd's book, page 33, right? Think Mormonism, congregation. This is Bernard talking. This speculative Masonry, though claiming only to instruct in moral improvement, establishes a hierarchy of power, binds the conscience with secret obligations, and exercises an influence over its members, unknown to the public. Think Mormonism, okay? Here's the key. Bernard is warning us, right? This whole book is a warning. The entire anti-Masonic movement is a warning against speculative Masonry, okay? This is not just symbolism, he warns, and ceremonies. There's a lot more to it. It's a hierarchy, a secret society behind the scenes, right? This is unknown to the public, okay? The public does not know what's happening. So its own members don't even know what's happening, right? It's being governed. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's all in the books. You know, just read the book. It lays the whole thing out. If you have any questions, I refer you to the book. Just read the book, okay? Okay, so it's authority over consciousness, right? That's what he's talking about, okay? Operating largely outside the world's view. Nobody knows. It's a secret society, right? He's not talking about the members, okay? This is the secret organization, right? Okay, follow me on this. This is complex, okay? Okay, yeah, so that's the religious institution that he's talking about, the religious institution he's talking about. Okay, so here, he takes it home. He drives the point home, congregation. Follow me, page 34 in Light on Masonry. The speculative institution of Masonry presents itself as a system of religion. There it is. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. Lights, 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 lights. This is Bernard writing on page 34 in Light on Masonry. The speculative institution of Masonry presents itself as a system of religion under the veil of ceremonies. It binds men by oaths, demands secrecy, and asserts authority over spiritual and moral concerns in a manner that few outside its walls can comprehend. This is an 1829 congregation. Do you understand me? Follow me. This is an 1829 book. This book was published in 1829, okay? We're at the height of the anti-Masonic movement right now, okay? This is Bernard's warning, okay? These books are all warning us, all of them. They're all warning us against the speculative Masonry, okay? Okay, speculative Masonry is a religious institution, not just a club that we would think of like as a lodge you're going to, right? This is a legit secret society, right? George Washington is warning us about this stuff, right? In his farewell address and countless others, okay? It's religious, it's secretive, it's hierarchical, and this is exactly the lens early critiques would later use to analyze Mormonism. Now let's go into Mormonism, congregation. We just looked at the anti-Masonic. We're making their case for speculative Masonry, okay? So I have been saying that it's on all these Mormon books, these anti-Mormon books. So Mormon atheists, prove it. Show me. Put your money where your mouth is, man. Like, you're going to talk trash. Let's see it, okay? So here we go, congregation. Let's fast forward. Now we're going to go to the 1830s and 40s. Okay, Mormonism is growing. Let's set the stage, right? Mormonism growing. Early critics, right? They take notice, right? They start applying Bernard's critique of Masonry to Mormonism. Okay, and I'm going to show you the links in how I can confidently say that. Okay, and I'm going to give you three authors, contemporary authors of the day, and this is just three that really kind of drive it home, right? These are contemporary authors, and there's countless others. It's in all the books. This is in all of the books. So this is not a interpretation, or this is legitimately in all the books I talk about on my channel. There is some reference to this in every single one of them. Every single one of them. Okay. So they saw the same institutional patterns. Okay. Secrecy, oaths, hierarchical authority, and moral influence over its members, right? We're in Mormonism now. Okay, now we're in Mormonism. So there's an author, his name is E.G. Lee. Great author. On this channel, we are resurrecting these authors. We are bringing them back to life. They preserve this stuff for us, congregation. So praise them, honor them, and go read their literature because it's phenomenal. It's fascinating. These authors are stunning in what they say. It's incredible. Praise these authors, okay? Because in a lot of ways you could look at it as like they're saving us. It could be construed as too little, too late. Nonetheless, they're there. They tried. And David Bernard is one of the people that got this started. Solomon Southwick, David Bernard, uh, Thurlow Weed. Okay, so E.G. Lee. Okay, the name of his book is called "The Mormons" or "Knavery Exposed," published in 1841. Notice the timeline here, congregation. Okay, there's countless books. You can go all the way to 1830. There's Mormonism Unveiled. There's tons of books that are talking about this. Okay, I'm just taking the three that like explicitly say this. Okay, these guys are explicitly saying what I'm bringing to you right now. Okay, so E.G. Lee, The Mormons or Knavery Exposed, published in 1841, on page 17, he writes, "The Society of Mormons is a kind of speculative institution. Like lodges of Freemasons, it binds men by vows." Notice the change in the wording, okay? We're 10 years later now. Well, actually, we're, 10 years. What is this? 1841. Bernard writes in 1829. Okay, so the Society of Mormons. This is E.G. Lee writing. The Society of Mormons is a kind of speculative institution, like lodges of Freemasons. It binds men by vows, conducts ceremonies in secrecy, and exercises moral and religious pretensions that the world cannot oversee. Okay, congregation, let's go back. What does Brainerd say? This speculative Masonry, though claiming only to instruct in moral improvement, establishes a hierarchy of power, binds the conscience with secret obligations, and exercises an influence over its members unknown to the public. He's talking about this is anti-Masonic. Let's go to anti-Mormon. The Society of Mormons is a kind of speculative institution, like lodges of Freemasons. It binds men by vows, conducts ceremonies in secrecy, and exercises moral and religious pretensions that the world cannot see. Think of this. E.G. Lee is drawing a direct connection here, okay? Mormonism is like Masonry. It's structure, it's secretive, and controlling over the conscience, right? That's the essence of what Bernard has been warning us about in his book, Light on Masonry, and what Solomon Southwick says in all of his works, right? I highly, highly recommend both of these authors, but Bernard, this is the only thing he ever wrote was this. And this book is so explosive in making the connection from Mormonism, from anti-Masonry to Mormonism, okay? Okay, so now let's go to another person that you all know. You all know this character, John C. Bennett, okay? What does he have to say about this, right? The name of his book, The History of the Saints, or An Expose of Joe Smith and Mormonism. Now we're in 1842, page 12. He writes, in their lodges, as in the lodges of Masons, are ceremonies and obligations. There's the word change, obligations now, instead of oaths, you're at obligations. A secret, solemn nature. This is my favorite part. Congregation, this is my favorite part. This is literally my favorite part of this whole story. Okay. John C. Bennett writes in 1842, in their lodges, as in the lodges of Masons, are ceremonies and obligations, as a secret, solemn nature, and as Solomon Southwick has observed of Masonry. John C. Bennett mentions Solomon Southwick. Follow these names, congregation. I keep telling you guys, follow the names. There's a direct quote I do on one of my videos. Go back to Is the LDS Church America's First Secret Society? Go to my Solomon Southwick video, right? There's a direct quote out of Solomon Southwick's book, A Warning Against Masonry, in John C. Bennett's book. It's a direct quote. It's word for word, literally naming Noah Smith. Noah Smith. You got to watch the video to find out what that even means. Okay. It's, I'm sorry, Henry Smith. Henry Smith. Noah Smith is Henry Smith's brother. Okay. It's phenomenal. Follow these names, congregation. I keep telling you this. In their lodges, John C. Bennett writes, in their lodges, as in the lodges of Masons, are ceremonies and obligations, a secret, solemn nature, and as Solomon Southwick has observed of Masonry, so of the Mormons. Boom, apostates. It is a religious institution claiming to guide the conscience to bind moral and religious obligations. That's John C. Bennett this time saying that. Now we're in 1842, so we got a clear timeline. Solomon Southwick in 1827. David Bernard, 1829. Countless other authors in between, but conclusively, 1841, 1842, we're not done yet. Congregation, I gotta rub scholarship's nose. We're not done. Okay? And the excerpt and to exert an influence over the souls of men unknown to the world. Do you understand what's happening here, Apostate Congregation? Bennett explicitly cites Solomon Southwick. Solomon Southwick is he probably is my personal hero. I love that guy. Okay? Gosh, I wish I could make man love. Anybody know some necromancy? Joseph did. Damn, where's Joseph? All right. Anyways, let's get back to too soon. Too soon. Okay. The leading anti-Masonic author, the creator, Bennett explicitly cites Solomon Southwick. That's so huge. The leading anti-Masonic author, the creator of the entire anti-Masonic movement, congregation. He applies, John C. Bennett is applying this critique directly to Mormonism. This quote shows, right, the direct lineage from Southwick, Bernard, E.G. Lee, Bennett, the framework of secrecy, right, ritual, and moral authority, it all carries over seamlessly, congregation. So let's think about this. Solomon Southwick is warning us. Bernard expands on that. And Bennett is connecting the dots from Mormonism to anti-Masonry. E.G. Lee, you could say, okay, he's, what does he know? But you can't do that with Bennett. Bennett's solid. Rather you say he's a dissenter, blah, 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 whatever. He was there. He was there. Okay, he was there. All right, do you understand me? It's a first-hand account. These are first-hand accounts, congregation. E.G. Lee, you could argue, but Bennett, you can't. Okay? And there's countless others. I do videos on these authors that are dissenters, and they all say the same thing. This is in all their books. This is not just in these books. I'm just giving you the hardest ones. This is in all of them. Okay? So Bennett is connecting the dots from anti-Masonic to anti-Mormonism. Okay? This is huge. Okay? Anti-Masonic, speculative Mormonism. Right? Speculative Mormonism. It's what they call it. It's what they call it. That's what Bennett is called. That's what Bennett calls it. Right? You just read the book. You just got to read the book, congregation. It is literally there. Okay. Okay. So you got to remember the anti-Masonic leap, right, is William Morgan. He's the bridge. He's bridging that gap. That's the William Morgan connection. Okay. It's the old from the new, operative to speculative. That's what William Morgan's role is in all of this. Okay. Okay, let's keep going, congregation, because we're not done yet. We gotta rub it. We gotta rub their nose. Okay. All right. So now we're getting further away in time. Okay. But the sentiment still remains. Okay. Now we're gonna go to somebody that you may know. Okay, I've done some videos on this guy. You may know him. His name is Leroy Sunderland. Right. If you watch my the first Mormon apologetics video, this guy, Leroy Sunderland, is directly involved with a conversation through literature with Parley P. Pratt, and that becomes the legit first Mormon apologetics. Okay. So you got to watch that video and understand what all that is, right? So Leroy Sunderland writes a book, okay? It's called Mormonism Exposed, okay? And he is also the editor of a periodical that is called Zion's Watchman, okay? Now, Zion's Watchman is what I did the previous video on, was that, Zion's Watchman. Right now, we're going to talk about his book, Mormonism Exposed, 1842, page 15. Leroy Sunderland writes, they form secret societies and bands among themselves, bound by oaths, and these constitute an institution with laws and rights of their own. They claim authority over conscience and action in a manner resembling the institution of Freemasonry. Congregation, are you seeing the pattern here? Okay. All the way from 1827, the anti-Masonic movement. Okay. We are showing a very, very clear historical lineage through time that is connecting these dots through the literature. Okay. These are all first-hand accounts. And now if it was a one author or something along these lines, you could say, okay, you could argue, but it's every one of them. And I'm literally giving you 5 here right now, just in this, presentation. All right. So if you would like, I can give you more. I can give you a lot more. Okay. So let's keep going. We're almost done, congregation. Stay with me. Thank you. Like and subscribe to the channel. We are not monetized. All that stuff will never be monetized. All I ask you to do is read the books and tell your friends. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please, by all means, do so. But we will never be monetized. So subscribing to the channel helps me with my algorithms to get this out to the public, because not being monetized really affects that. And so word of mouth, we are a grassroots channel, 100%. The subscribers on this channel, we are all nerds. If you're a nerd, come on, let's go, right? I got a splash bag in the closet right here waiting for you. So come on, jump aboard the starship and let's go. Okay, Sunderland is confirming the pattern, Apostate Congregation. Mormonism is organized like Masonry. Okay, we're talking Masonry of old, not modern day Masonry. We are not talking about modern day Masonry. We are talking about 1820s dead Freemasonry. These authors are all telling you that the Templar version, operative Masonry, is dead. So all of the Templars are teaching these new people, Freemasons, Masonry of old. Speculative Masonry is what this is now called, right? Which is the LDS Church. And I can prove that through the literature. You just have to read. I give you books, I give you books, I give you books, I give you books, and just read them. Okay? Mormonism is organized like Masonry. Sunderland is confirming the pattern. Secret oaths, structured hierarchies, ceremonies, authority over members, moral and spiritual life. Authority over members, moral and spiritual life. So let's connect these dots. Southwick, Brainerd, Lee, Bennett, Sunderland, and countless others. Countless others. All confirm this. All confirm this. These authors are connecting the dots, congregation, through the literature. They preserved it for us. Okay. I respect that. I have a great deal of appreciation and respect for that, because they're warning us. They're trying to save us. They are still in 2025. David Brainerd is still working. He's still working it. David Brainerd, or David Bernard. David Bernard. I apologize, David Bernard. Okay. Congregation, we're 200 years later, and this guy's still working it. He's still warning us. He's still warning us. Okay? Let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let's finally, when are we going to wake up? For 200 years, we've been asleep at the wheel. Okay? This stuff is there. It's been at our fingertips. This is a classic Masonic trick. It's right in front of your eyes. It's hidden in plain sight. It's right in front of your eyes, congregation. It's a classic Masonic trick. What's the answer? Okay. What's the answer to my riddle in my previous videos? I'll tell you the answer. It's you have to admit it to yourself. That's the answer. So now, congregation, the riddle is, what's the question? What's the question, Apostate Congregation? I am specifically talking to Mormons right now. What's the question? You just got to admit it to yourself, baby. And your eyes will be open. Okay, These authors are connecting the dots. Speculative Masonry is Mormonism. Okay? Speculative Masonry is Mormonism. So these critiques of Mormonism were not just making wild claims, congregation. They're following the crumb trails that were previously laid before them through Thurlow Weed, Solomon Southwick, David Bernard, E.G. Lee, John C. Bennett, all these people, and it carries on all the way to today. These people are telling us, but scholarship has been like, no, no, no. Even Freemasonry is like, no, we never ever practice. We have, today we have arch masons, and I'm a college professor, and F you, dude. Okay? Until you read this book, Mr. Freemason, Modern Day Freemason Today, and you understand Masonry in the 1820s and what they're doing, who is what, everything, it's not the same as today. It's not. My evidence is right here. If you don't believe me, here it is. Read it. Okay? We are not talking about modern day Masonry here. Okay? These authors are following these crumb trails, these anti-Mormon authors. Okay, there's nothing anti-Mormon about any of these authors. Let's get that very clear. Okay, a well-established framework that Solomon Southwick and David Bernard had articulated: speculative Masonry, organized secrecy, moral authority. I keep saying this because it's coming across as I keep repeating myself, because I am. I'm repeating myself in 1827, 1829, 1840, 1841, 1842. It's the same words. So yes, I'm absolutely repeating myself, because speculative Masonry is Mormonism. Do I make myself clear, or should I just, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna do one more. All right, all right, let's go. Let's keep going. All the hallmarks of the religious institution operating outside of public oversight. Think of the church today, congregation. Think of the church today. Okay. This is a lot, right? This is a lot. I told you we were going to get nerdy. I told you we were going to get nerdy. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. This is what my channel is about. This kind of stuff. Okay. We read these books that are written in the 1800s. The whole purpose of this channel, congregation, folks watching, right? New folks. We read books that are written contemporary to the day of Joseph Smith. Every episode is a new book, a new author. In those episodes, we talk about multiple books. I personally literally read every single book I talk about on my channel, every single one of them. And I hope that comes across in my videos, because I'm giving you details that you can't Google. You can't Google this shit. You got to read the book, okay? Okay, so that's what my channel's about. It's about Mormonism. I am a Mormon. I was born and raised a Mormon, okay? I have long since apostatized, okay? But I know these stories. I know the books. I've read the books. Look, I got my Book of Mormon right here. Or I'm sorry, my Bible and my Book of Mormon, Pearl of Great Price, Doctrine and Covenants. Okay. So like and subscribe to the channel, share the videos, tell your friends. I'm really just more interested that you read the books, to be honest with you, because we're talking about legit Mormon history here. This is not scholar BS or modern LDS history BS that these people are writing books today about. This is the legit story. Where did the story first come from? Who wrote it? Where did it come from? That's what we do on this channel. We uncover all this stuff. Watch my videos. You'll see. They're really interesting. They're really interesting. All right. So, okay. Check out the video, LDS, is the LDS Church America's First Secret Society? Prepare yourselves, okay? When we talk about Mormonism as speculative Masonry, we are not using modern commentary. Please listen to that. We are following the originals, the OGs. What are they saying? What are they writing about? The contemporaries. Uh, these people were there. They were alive. They were there. They were going through it. They're eyewitnesses, firsthand accounts. They're eyewitnesses. They were there. They were there, living at the same time as all of these events are taking place, congregation. Okay. So connect what Bernard says, okay, about Masonry to the patterns that all of these other authors saw in Mormonism, okay? You connect these dots, congregation. Follow these names, follow these dates. I keep telling you in all of my videos, follow the names, follow the dates. They will take you places that you do not expect. You will not expect LDS names in an anti-Masonic book. This book was written in 1829. There's no Mormonism. There is no Mormonism. So why are there all these LDS names in this book? And their lodges, where they lived, the colleges they are affiliated with. All this stuff is in this book. It's all in this book. It's all in the book, man. It's such a fun book. This is a fun book. If you like Freemasonry and the subject of Freemasonry just in general, you'll love that book, man. But just know that when you are reading that book, you are literally reading about what goes on in the institution of modern day Mormonism. Now, it's been changed and tweaked and altered, but if you read early Mormon history books, all of that stuff, the ceremonies, all that stuff is in this book. It's all in this book. If you want to know where the endowments came from, the temple ceremonies, all that stuff, if you want to know, read the anti-Masonic literature. If you're trying to connect these dots with Mormonism, you're missing 90% of the story. 90% of the story is in the anti-Masonic literature, not the anti-Mormon literature. Okay? This book will take you places. Love it. All right. Thank you, Apostate Congregation. That's all I have for you today. I told you we were going to get nerdy. We went deep into the weeds today. All right. The last few videos have been really kind of weedy. We've been on the weed train, man. So like all right, congregation, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you, all of you new subscribers. Welcome to the Apostate Congregation. I got a lot of room in the starship. Okay, so come on aboard, everybody. Come on aboard. Let's go. Let's jump in the starship. Let's go back in time. We're going to tune into these authors. We're going to turn on to some Mormon stories, man, and drop out of society. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get ready. Let's go. Come on, like and subscribe to the channel and come and join the ride with us. So thank you, everybody. And in the words of the late, great Solomon Southwick, my man, you got to read the books, congregation. What does Solomon Southwick say? It's in his book. It's in his book. The ashes of Morgan will rise again. And here we are. Here we are, congregation. We have risen. The ashes of Morgan have risen, and here we are. So thank you again. Thank you, everybody. To the community, to the apostate community out there. I know a lot of you guys are reading these books and all that kind of stuff, right? So comment. Let me know what you think of these videos, this video. comment, throw in some comments, watch the other video. If you got questions, ask the questions, right? Ask the questions. I'll try to give you the best answer I can, and we'll go from there. But thank you, congregation, and have a nice rest of your Sunday, and we will see you on the other side.